Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Tony Harvin, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'd like to thank everybody for coming to this channel, liking, subscribing, leaving your comments, whether positive or negative. Much love, much prayers to everybody. This is live conversation number 126 on YouTube. Live conversations number 126 here on YouTube. To my front screen right here, and eighth live on Facebook. To my right, this is Facebook, which may look left when Facebook viewers view this video in general. I greet everybody, with prayers and love and everything else like that. I hope everybody had a wonderful day, having a wonderful day also. You know what I'm saying? Here's my disclaimer. Yeah, I know my disclaimer here on YouTube, you know. Fairly new to Facebook still, doing the live broadcasts or whatever. Excuse me, live conversations. Beg your pardon. I'm not a pastor. I'm not a preacher. I'm not none of that. You understand that? So please do not label those titles on me. I'm just a brother just here having a conversation in general, as you would with your friends or your family in general. That's why I titled it Live Conversations. This is not a sermon right here. I'm not going to the book of John. I'm not going to the book of Revelations preaching a sermon. We just here having a normal conversation. That's it. All right. So all the over righteous church people, just just calm down. You know what I'm saying? Just calm down. A scripture or something from the scriptures somebody may quote or whatever the case may be. Listen, just relax. We just here having a regular conversation. You understand? You understand that? We had a wonderful YouTube live last night for sure. A couple of hecklers and whatnot, but it's all good. It's all good. We gotta, slip, dip them. You know what I mean? move, move on them, and just ignore the haters. You understand that? I know some of them haters may wanna, just simmer down. All right, but we're here talking about this topic. Dealing with people's emotions and things of that nature. You know, I thank everybody for coming on once again. The topic is playing with people's emotions could be very dangerous. Playing with people's emotions could be very dangerous. And I know a few people out there may have, excuse me, may have dealt with the situation of somebody playing with your feelings and things like that. And some of us has probably been on the other end as the suspects, into playing with people's emotions, whether it was back in the day. Some of us is probably doing it right now. We're talking about from like a relationship standpoint, marriage standpoint, or just a basic friend standpoint in general. So if anybody out there like to, interject, share their experience, or whatever the case may be in reference to the topic, feel free. I got no problem with, reading people comments in general. I'm about to greet everybody who's in the chat room on YouTube. Tony Harvin on YouTube. Look it up. Also visit my backup channel, Tony Harvin backup channel. I also got Tony Harvin poems that I'm trying to work on here and there. There's so much going on. I haven't been on the Facebook Live in a minute, but we here. On Facebook to my right, to their left if they're viewing it. What up, Flemings? What's up to Richardson, Latanya, Lady Speed, Irie Cole, Stacy Anderson, Moni, Quanah B. Evelyn. What up, Juan? What up, what up, what up? What up, Power? What up, Beam Suke? I'm chilling. Knowledge shall increase. You says this one is interesting. Let's ruffle up some feathers. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's very interesting, because I've been on both sides of the field, coming up, and a lot of people are not humble enough to say, listen, way back when I did do those things, or I did that way back when, playing with people's feelings. When you're on the other side, you're not really worrying about the other person's feelings. You're worrying about your pleasure. You know what I'm saying? You're worrying about those good times that you're having within yourself, until you get caught. Now it's a different ball field. Either you're going to tell the truth and be honest upon what you have done, or you're going to create lies on top of lies. You understand that? And you can build a bad reputation that way. What up, Willie? What up, Willie Mag? Willie Magwood. What up, Cynthia Hall? for sure. Appreciate y'all, your commenting. Latanya Williams, appreciate that. What up, Gin Juice? What up? What up? What up? Hope all is well. You know, I'm good. I'm good. I'm chilling. Just relaxing here on a Sunday night. I know some of y'all ain't got no work tomorrow, but I do. You know. All right. You says 46 and only okay. Appreciate that. Appreciate that for sure. Knowledge shall increase. You says guilty as charged. Absolutely. Absolutely. Some instances we may see it in the media, the newspaper, and things like that. Whereas though there's a murder suicide, and a high percentage of it is like dealt with a relationship or a marriage, because either the woman or the man wants to leave each other, or one or the other. Excuse me, beg your pardon. You know, she probably don't want to be with him. He was found caught cheating and whatnot, or playing with this person's feelings and things of that nature. Now, as you say, he's guilty as charged. Now he's feeling some type of way. You understand that? now he know he messed up. You know what I'm saying? He's about to lose, or she about to lose something good. You know what I mean? People only a high percentage of people realize, they had something good when it's gone. You know what I mean? That's a deep statement right there. That is a deep statement, because I'm pretty sure a lot of us out here even if it's just like a friendship, have came across people who were good people, honest, trustworthy, and things of that nature, whereas though we had have messed up and played with their feelings. Now they're gone. You know what I'm saying? Now we regretting it for sure. What up, Nicholas? You says greetings from Jamaica. Hope well. Continue to stay in the way of holiness, bro. It's not easy, but let us fight the good fight of faith. Absolutely, absolutely. It's a tough road for sure. You're absolutely right about that one. I appreciate the comment from Jamaica in general. You says good evening, Rose. You says good evening all the way from Jamaica, for sure. I appreciate that. What up, St. Louis? What what, what up, St. Louis? GST says I have been on the receiving end as well as the one dishing it out. My conclusion is that it's not, and this is a person off of YouTube. For those who wondering off of Facebook, if you're tuning in, he says I have been on the receiving end as well as the one dishing it out. My conclusion is that it's not a good feeling, especially when you're the guilty party. Absolutely, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right about that one for sure. Appreciate your comment. In general, knowledge sound increase. You asked the question. You said, does anyone know about the school shooter from Florida on trial right now? Well, I will recommend Google. I will recommend Google on that one for sure. What up, Andrew Jackson? You says good evening, everyone, and good evening, brother T. What's going on? I'm good. We're just here having a good old conversation about this topic for sure. Feel free to state your case, or if you have any type of experience with this situation in general. You know, all right. Appreciate that. So back to the topic at hand in reference to playing with people's emotions could be dangerous. We hear all about it, and like somebody mentioned, they've been on the both ends of the stick, or whatever the case may be, of this matter. It's not a good feeling. When you're the victim. You put all your trust, you put all your time. Listen, it's tough. When you put the time in with somebody, whether it's a friendship or whether it's trying to build a marriage or trying to work to get married and stuff like that, whereas though you found out that they was playing with your feelings in general, and it's not just a physical thing, in reference to like cheating or adultery and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Emotions. You know what I'm saying? Somebody could be thinking about another person emotionally. You know what I mean? They could be, for sure. You in the bed with your boo boo stink. You in the bed, you in the bed with your baby or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they thinking about somebody else, and you don't even know about it. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know about it. All right? They got a spouse at home. Matter of fact, they got they got a spouse on the side. You understand that? And then they got a main person. You dig? So that's how it that's how it can be. What up, real shotters? You said you said I'm definitely I'm sponsored by Under Armour. He said I'm sponsored by Under Armour. Huh? What makes you say that? That's not the first time somebody said that. You know, shout out to Under Armour though, man. All right. Knowledge shall increase says, no, I'm asking because they have said knowledge shall increase from YouTube. They asked the question or making a statement rather. You says, no, I'm asking because they have said he was mentally ill from his mother's womb. She was doing all kind of drugs while pregnant with him and had mental issues since he was born. Well, that could be true. That definitely could be true. You know, if you have a mother out there, doing drugs while she's pregnant, absolutely. Drugs when a woman is pregnant definitely can affect the child. That's a fact right there. You know, anything negative can affect the child. You know, eating the wrong food, smoking, being around some people who smoking. I've seen some pregnant women by pictures and videos. They clubbing. You know, they belly big and they clubbing, having a Corona, having having a martini. You know what I'm saying? Having a Long Island iced tea while they pregnant. You know, some women just can't leave that lifestyle. You know, they don't want to leave that lifestyle alone. Listen, 8 9 months to the max, you can't put the Corona bottle down. You can't leave drugs alone. A child is definitely a blessing for sure. And some of us may been in a situation where as though we did things out of wedlock. Okay, we repented, we asked God for forgiveness and things like that. But at the end of the day, that child is still a gift from God and stuff like that. Cardell Turner from YouTube. He says emotions are hard to deal with. Absolutely, especially when you're very sensitive. When you really put your heart into things. When a person love hard. You know what I mean? When a person definitely love hard and then they get their feelings broken and stuff like that. And then those type of people or those people who've been in situations like that, now they gotta guard up. You know what I'm saying? They gotta guard up for their emotions. They got the steel cage. You know what I'm saying? The electric cage around their heart and emotions. Whereas though you might come across somebody who's good now, and may miss that opportunity due to them being too cautious. It's not their fault. It's their experiences that they have been through for sure. Andrew Jackson from YouTube. You said playing with people's emotions is very dangerous. I seen a household fall apart like that, especially marriages. Absolutely, absolutely. In a marriage is tough, man. I will say that. I will say that, man, for sure. Marriage is not taught the way it's supposed to be taught. You know what I'm saying? By it's a lack of real God sent holy preachers out there to really preach that message of marriage, or good people who can counsel people before marriage. There's some people that give good advice and things like that in a marriage. You know what I mean? But you're absolutely right at Andrew Jackson. What up, Larry Burks? What up? What up? What up? Um, Jen Juice, you funny. Jen Juice, you was funny for that one. Let me quickly look into that right quick that you just said, because that'd be funny if that did happen. That'd be funny, but I don't hope for that for anybody. You know what I mean? If they did, nah. Uh, let me see. Oh wow, his channel did get taken down. Wow, wow, you're absolutely right. You, he got another channel called Ministry of the Word at Gen Juice. Wow, I didn't know Dory Love channel got taken down. Listen, I don't hope I don't hope for that for anybody. You know what I mean? Y'all know here on YouTube, my channel got terminated twice. You know, and it took a lot of fight and stuff like that to get it back, especially having all those views and millions of views, and you got your subscribers. I think he had about almost 170,000 subscribers. You know, and he started getting his views and stuff like that back. He started getting his spike back on his YouTube channel. But you know, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Wow. You know, but I don't hope for that for nobody, no matter what type of disagreement we have, all that hard work that people put into a YouTube channel. It's hard work. You know, it's not an overnight thing. Doing a YouTube channel and building it and promoting and marketing and stuff like that. People think this is an overnight thing. You know what I mean? I had my YouTube channel since 2007. You know what I mean? And it's just now kind of starting to really surface a little bit. You know what I mean? So all that hard work that he put into that channel and is gone. I really hope Dory Love get that channel back, man. You know what I mean? For sure. For sure. All right. What up, Power Ranger? You says this is so true today. This thought comes to my mind about emotions. Wow. I was going to talk about something else too, but this came to my mind as I was setting up this camera and stuff like that to talk about this topic for sure. Knowledge shall increase says, my point is, how can you blame someone for playing with your emotions? Can a person use that as an excuse for sinning? Well, this person from YouTube, if those from Facebook is listening, this person, you know, knowledge shall increase, makes a statement, says, my point is, how far can you blame blame someone for playing with your emotions? How far? Some people are just silly enough to strag along with it. They know they're being played, but they use this false feeling of I still love him or I still love her. You understand that? And you says, can a person use that as an excuse for sinning? No. No. You understand that? But person know better. And we all are hard-headed. Let's just be clear. You know what I'm saying? We hard-headed. Man, we going through it. I'm going through it. I'm not saying me. I'm just hypothetically speaking. I'm just acting out certain scenarios that I have experiences seeing people do. You know, they may be going through something and stuff like that. Man, I need to smoke some weed. I need to get drunk and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They want these temporarily medications that they trying to heal a tough feeling like that, tough hurt. Yeah, you'll be okay for a couple of hours, and then that liquor will wear off. You understand that? You know, we all go through tough situations out here, for sure. And that's not an excuse to hurt people. That's not an excuse to kill somebody and then kill yourself at the end of the day, because a lot of people been in situations like that, you know, where as though they want to blame their emotions for what they did wrong. You know what I mean? Because of somebody hurt them emotionally and mentally, you know. Truth Seeker says lying people also affects your emotions. They'll make you think you're going crazy. Absolutely. You know, those who are very crafty with lying, you know, they're very crafty with knowing how to do it and stuff like that. You know, they have you thinking that they telling the truth and you bugging out. You understand? So you're absolutely right. Gin Juice, you funny. Richardson, you says partners killing each other left and right. It's all over the news, all over the internet. Emotions, absolutely. You know, I believe it was a situation with a what is like OnlyFans model or something like that, an Instagram model who killed the boyfriend or something like that. Yo, these people crazy out here, man. These people crazy. You know, listen, ain't no goodies worth that much for me to even be thinking about killing at all. You understand? You understand it? Anybody? You know what I'm saying? Ain't no woman's goodies. Let me say that again. Ain't no woman goody goodies. That good. You understand? No woman body, Coke bottle shape, whatever. How I don't care how pretty she look. I don't care if she look like Laura London or Ashanti. You understand? It ain't worth it, man. It ain't worth it at all, for sure. That's despite whatever. You understand that? You know what I mean? Life is precious, and definitely I wouldn't ruin it over nothing of that manner. You understand that? Definitely try to equip my mind and definitely try to equip my heart. You got to expect the unexpected. In certain situations. You know what I'm saying? All right, uh, Mister Mister Dude. You got to go to truthofgod.com, truthofgod.com to find out that information at Mr. Dude off YouTube. You got to go there, man. What's up to Ruth Hurd? How you doing, Sister Hurd? I hope all is well. Sister Hurd, was one of the first videos I saw on the Truth of God. Sister Hurd from Facebook, wonderful voice, wonderful sister in general, much respect. First Church family. Peace and blessings unto you at Ruth Hurd. Appreciate that. All right. Okay. Real Shotters from YouTube. He says it's hard to leave that lifestyle. It's a battle from flesh and mind. You're right. Absolutely. You're right. Absolutely. Jackie McCall says easier said than done. All addictions are strong. Well, we ain't talking about all addictions. We're talking about just this topic right here. We ain't talking about other addictions. We're talking about this right here. This right here of people's emotions. All right. Mr. Ham says I was just talking to a woman today about forgiving her ex-husband that was abusive. Told it not for him, it for you. If you that anger, hey, Mr. Ham, you gotta rewrite that. Off of YouTube. I really don't understand that. All right. Jen Juice, you funny. Listen, like I said, I don't hope nobody channel from YouTube who worked that hard, like Dory Love, although we may have disagreements and stuff like that, I don't hope that on anybody for a channel like that to get terminated. And he probably was, making money and stuff like that, off of his created content, So I do hope we get his channel back at Dory Love, shout out to him, because when I went through that, it was it's not a good feeling losing your channel. It's not. All that hard work you did, all that editing, recording, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff. It's the videos that is not even to the public that you just saved up in your archives. They wipe it all away. Gone. You understand that? And then you can't get it back. You know what I mean? So shout out to shout out to him, for sure. All right. We could talk about his channel on a later topic. All right. Cardell Turner, you says if I cannot get married, I have a long-term relationship or just settle down and be happy, no marriage. The person Cardell Turner says, okay. Vic W, what are you talking about with that sermon? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about for sure. All right. Okay, Stacy Anderson off of YouTube. You says with as many people from mental illness these days, it's not a safe game to play. Well, I agree that some people got, mental health issues and stuff like that, but some people use that as an excuse. I remember back in the day, I don't recall really hearing about mental health like that. Listen, we got our behinds whooped. We got our behinds whooped. You understand that? And these days, the parents and stuff like that, I know, we want to be a little soft and spoil the kids and stuff like that. See, we had discipline. Back in the day, our parents be like, ain't nothing wrong with him. Ain't nothing wrong with her. They straighten you out. If you claim you got mental health problems back then, they straighten you out. Parents back then, you know, you gotta look at the influences in reference to mental health and mental illnesses. Listen to the music. That stuff play with people's subconscious and stuff like that. Drill music, killing music and stuff like that. Certain movies, they think certain things like that is won't bother them. The stuff you watch, liquor, not taking care of yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally, and stuff like that. They want to blame certain things. Listen, I go through stuff. I go through stuff in life, just like everybody else. You understand that? I'm not going to sit here and blame it on mental health at all, but I do agree some people do suffer from mental health issues and things like that for sure. All right. The person commenting, Jesus God, you says, while Jennings is overseas, can we not watch him? Well, it was on Zoom. You had to go to truthofgod.com to get the information. I know somebody was sending me the link to watch the Zooms, Stacey Anderson says, do you think people are meant to be monogamous, meaning being with one partner for eternity? You mean like in this fleshly life and stuff like that? You got to look at it like this. People back in the day, they still married. A lot of people been married 40, 50, 60, 70 years and still going strong. You know what I mean? But in these days, it's like a high rate of divorce and stuff like that. We see the influences, a lot of temptations and stuff like that. People are really, not people, but a lot of people really don't want to take that route of being together, sticking through thick and thin and stuff like that. A lot of us are stubborn. The moment somebody does a little thing, we want to get a divorce. We don't want to work it out and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But back in the day, you know what I mean? They know how to go through tough and rough times. That's why, my personal recommendation is if people, want to get married and stuff like that, and I've matured over the years and things like that, listen, go speak to a couple who've been married 40, 50 years and stuff like that, who've been through some stuff. Not a couple who've been married a couple years who haven't been through nothing, So that's my take on that. But some people can do it. Some people can do it. I see people on Facebook, posting their little pictures of their husband and wife and, going on vacations and kissy poo poo and this is my baby and stuff like that. Which is cool. Which is cool, which is inspiration and stuff like that. But you can't look happy on the internet and then going through a lot of nonsense off the internet and stuff like that. Don't try to look good for social media and then it's in mayhem and your marriage. I'm just saying things like this in general. I'm not pointing the fingers at nobody in general. Jackie McCall from YouTube, he says, when God instituted marriage, he instituted a great thing. God didn't make no mistakes. I've been married 37 years. Thanks to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen. Jackie McCall from YouTube. Wow. 37 years. Now that's something. That's something. That's experience right there in the marriage right there. 37 years. 30. That's the type of marriage couple those who seeking to get married need to speak to. Definitely, for sure. Definitely. What up, Sion? Let me see. Shaquana Montgomery says, I was just a block away from the church on 5th. An hour ago, they drive crazy on that block. Well, I don't know. I'm not from Philadelphia. I've been over there, but I'm not from there. St. Louis. I don't know St. Louis. Jackie McCall says, Brother Tony, playing on people's emotions isn't that an addiction? Just saying. Well, you asking, is it an addiction? Excuse me. Well, some people do it for fun. Some people do it for fun, playing with people's emotions and whatnot, for sure. Some people just get a thrill out of it, to play with people's emotions. So some people, yes, can be addicted to it, to doing it. Excuse me. What's up at T Michelle off of Facebook? Appreciate that comment. Appreciate that for sure. All right. Okay, the truth will set me free off of YouTube. You said, okay, you said you played Gino in the grocery store just to block out the nonsense conversation in the stores. People have tried played holiness in the public. Sion says it's listening to the thoughts in our head. All thoughts are lies all the time. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Sion from YouTube. What do you mean? Mr. Ham says I was talking to a woman today. Okay, you says I was talking to women today about forgiving her abusive husband. Uh, the forgiveness is not him; it's for you. Told her that would make you stronger. Absolutely, I agree with that. I definitely agree. Sion says Satan talks to us in our thoughts. Um, I agree. I definitely agree with that. You have a point there because a lot of people can assume things based upon what they've been through in the past. For example, we're talking about playing with people's emotions, whereas though, for example, female A can meet a man, a good person, but female A had been through a lot of things, in reference to her feelings being played with, and she may come across a man, talking to him, getting to know him, and things like that for marriage and stuff like that. Whereas though now she having these thoughts and these assumptions that he's doing something based upon what she has experienced, from the past. So you're absolutely right at Sion, or women like that. Some women like that can make assumptions, whereas though it's not true at all. Certain things some men do, a woman could just snap and make an assumption of something, which is not true at all. You know. Richardson from YouTube, he says, yeah, people use mental illness as an excuse because they definitely want to the mental place and have them fill out a card saying that he ain't got his mind right just in case he do something like that hurt. Okay. What up, Ernest Beard? What's up? What's up? What up, Bries91 off of YouTube? He says exactly social media can be a fan kid an illusion. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. Social media people can use as an illusion, to make it seem like their marriage is okay or who they're trying to get to know is fine. But behind the scenes, they're in shambles. You understand that? So you're absolutely right. Okay. Cardell Turner says, why is Pastor Gino gets freaked out when a groom kisses the bride? Well, that might be because they do it in church. And what's taught is only a holy kiss and stuff like that. You know what I mean? If a marriage is taking place in church, so truth of God goes by the scriptures and things like that. So if you read the scriptures upon like a kiss and things like that in church, it's just a holy kiss and things like that, not with like tongue and the stuff that you do in the bedroom and things and things like that. For sure, you're not going to church with your wife or your spouse in general, and y'all tonguing each other down in the pews and stuff like that. For sure. All right. It's called respecting the house of God in general. All right. Moneyman says, right. I had someone tell me that they change and turns out they schizophrenic. Wow. What up, Sandra Whitmore? What up, God is One Publishing? Damon Wallace, what up, what up? See you checking in for sure. All right. Mr. Wallace says some people play on other people's emotions because it happened to them. Good point. Good point for sure. And you said so they're just acting out their hurt and frustration on other people. Good point. Good point. Good point for sure. Appreciate that at God is One Publishing, aka Damon Wallace. What up, Damon? That was a good point right there. What up, Anthony Brody from YouTube? Now we got a question off of Facebook. Terrence Dunningway. This is a question off of Facebook. You know, he says, can a man get a divorce in the eyes of God if his wife never lived with him or fulfill wifely duties? Well, I will recommend Pastor Geno Jennings, you know what I'm saying? Divorce and remarriage. You know, I can only go by what the scriptures say and things like that. You know, when one get married and things like that, you take upon vows. You know, learning when you really learn about what marriage is about and things of that nature, it's a serious matter. You know, you're taking upon vows. You know, it's not about you know, what the person do after, more so. If they do something contrary to their vows and stuff like that, the question is, are you going to stick around? You know, that's what you take those vows for. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know the common vows. I forgot them. You know, so I'm trying to remember them right now. But when you make a promise, when you make a vow unto God, because guess what? You know, coming from this bishop that said this, you know, is you and your spouse and God. Now you're making vows unto God, you know, through thickness and through sickness and health and stuff like that. You know, you got to think about all things that can happen, everything. You know, what happened is if your spouse loses both arms and both legs and become blind and deaf, are you going to be there for them? You know what I'm saying? Are you are you going to divorce them? You know what I mean? Are you going to be there for them? That's how you got to really put it in your head through any negative thing that can possibly happen. You know, see, I didn't know this years ago, you know what I mean, in reference to marriage and stuff like that until I started listening to the Truth of God with PJ and whatnot. You know what I mean? So if you or anybody, you know what I'm saying, interested in marriage or been married and stuff like that, listen, that's something tough right there, man. That's tough. That's tough. Marriage is tough. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at it like that. Like, what if my spouse commit adultery with 20, 30 people? What if they become a drug addict? Of course, we pray and hope that those things don't happen. But what if they do? Remember, you took them vows with your spouse unto God now. You understand that? Now we got these new Bibles and stuff like that switch words around, that really change and really justify certain things in the boundaries of divorce. That's where a lot of people get confused in reference to the scriptures, because people coming out with their own New Age Bibles, which changing the ways of how it was in the natural text in general. All right, that was from Facebook, and what up, Quanta? What up, Quanta from Jersey City? What up? What up? You know, she said, of course, till death. Absolutely. You know, I know some people have emailed me throughout the years, you know, doing this YouTube stuff and what have you, upon divorce and remarriage, about God forgiving and stuff like that. Listen, I didn't write the scriptures and stuff like that. I'm still learning myself upon the scriptures and things like that. You know, that's a tough subject, divorce and remarriage. Very tough, among a lot of other subjects in there that a lot of people find it really hard to come up to. You understand? People start, you know, emailing me about, you know, their second spouse treating them better than the first one, or their third spouse and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? Go check this video out from the pastor and stuff like that, because that's a little too deep for me. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go by my personal feelings and expressions of how it should be from my take, but listen to a righteous man, a holy man of God, to break down, you know what I mean, whatever questions they got in reference to the scriptures and stuff like that. What up, Anthony? What is that? Anthony Musmus, who says, check my messages off of Facebook. I will when I finish. Let's go back to YouTube. Okay, Cardell Turner from YouTube says, be careful. A woman can snap and bring a gun and you through. Well, check this out, man. You know, when you're a fighter, and I'm not taking it away from no normal civilian. Listen, we always on point. So I definitely understand what you're saying, that a woman or anybody could snap and bring a gun or go to the kitchen, get a knife and stuff like that. You know what I mean? People could snap. You know what I'm saying? You're absolutely right for sure. You know what I mean? You gotta definitely gotta be careful in general. You know what I mean? You think a person won't harm you in general just because y'all, in some type of marriage or trying to build to a marriage and things like that. I don't really like to say relationship too much, but building towards a marriage, you know what I mean? Getting to know each other, in general, because that's the common goal, when you courting somebody, when you're trying to get to know somebody, you know what I mean? You're trying to see if this person compatible with you. Of course, you want to make sure you're equally yoked as far as like believing in God and stuff like that. And in general. He said a holy kiss. Sion, you funny. You know? Listen, would you that's funny. What up, Jerry Merritt? Sandra Whitmore says from YouTube says some people are so deeply hurt until they will never trust a relationship again. You're right. You're right. You're right about that. You're absolutely right. A lot of people become that way. A lot of people do, and it's tough. It's absolutely tough. We definitely living in a world where trust is very thin. Loyalty is very thin out here. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very thin. Very thin. You're very cautious. That's why I said earlier, during this live conversation number 126, that some people got like cages upon their emotions, upon their hearts. You know what I mean? Being very, very cautious for sure. Jinju says, "What is a holy kiss? French kiss or a forehead wet kiss?" You funny. You absolutely funny. Cardell Turner, listen, I'm not here to give all scriptures and stuff like that, but I will give you something to go look at and whatnot. Second Corinthians chapter 13 and 12, where it says greet one another with a holy kiss and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So if you in a church and things like that, and you tonguing your spouse down, is that holy? is that greeting being holy in the sanctuary? You know what I mean? And if that's the case, then hypothetically speaking, I could take anybody can take their wife to the or spouse to the church, and listen, we're gonna tongue each other down in the pews. If that's the case, if I could do it here, then later on down the road I can do it. You know what I'm saying? So you funny. You definitely funny for sure. At Gin Juice, it's all about respect, man. Respecting the house of God for sure. We know what French kisses do. Let's just be clear. You know what I'm saying? We know what French kisses do in general. Let's just cut to the chase. You know what I mean? A French kiss ain't gonna have you normal. You want to go. You want to go to the bedroom now that you got married. Now you want to go rush to that bedroom. You know what I mean? You want to get it in. Let's be clear. You know what I'm saying? All right. What up, great man? Mr. Ham says, why are most single women ex that's funny. Mr. Ham. Oh my goodness. That's a funny comment. That's a funny comment right there. You says, why are most of single women ex-wives, and it's something someone in the truth of God can't have. What do you mean by that last part? Break that last part down. I understand the first part, but what are you trying to make a connection with that at Mr. Ham? Listen, Jen Juice, Pastor Gino. You know what I'm saying? Look it up. Great man says singleness is better. Wow. Appreciate that at Bree S91. Jackie McCall says, great man, this is true. If you can't contain yourself, I'd rather you marry than burn. Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, if some people, a lot of people got high sex drives. Let's just be clear. Let's just keep it real. A lot of people got real extreme high sex drives. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying get married just because of sex and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because that's a wrong reason to get married. But as it says, it's better to marry than to burn. Absolutely. You know, but just your core purpose is, you know what I mean? You want to get married for the right reasons. Absolutely. You know what I mean? And you're absolutely right at Jackie McCall with that one for sure. Absolutely for sure. What is that? Sharice Richardson off of YouTube. You says, do you play with people's emotions? I already spoke about that earlier in this live conversation. I spoke about that earlier. You know, so go back to the beginning. I mentioned that already. You know what I mean? St. Louis says, are you King James only? For the most part, yes. That's correct. You know, that is correct. You understand? Because a lot of, like I said, a lot of modern up to date New Age Bibles, they change things around. They take out the scriptures and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And they twist it around. You understand? So you got to look at who's the author or who's the publishing corporation, the publishing company. What type of people are they? You know what I mean? What did they profess? What did they believe in? That's how I look at it. You know, so if I'm going and looking at the NIV, I want to know who published it. I want to know what these people believed in, who they followed, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And things of that nature. Or why did they change? Why did they come out with the NIV? That's me. What scriptures did they take out? Why did they take it out? You know what I'm saying? That's what I look at. You understand? So the King James is like one of the most accurate Bibles out there, and I believe the Ethiopian or something like that Bible also, and there was another one too. I forgot. You know what I mean? All right. Steon says, I believe gotta study the person and get to know each other even after marriage before bringing kids. You got to live with the person and see who they are. Well, um, when you're young and you don't know better, you know, and you fornicate and stuff like that and have kids at a wedlock, like I said earlier, you know, some of us was hard headed. Some of us didn't know the proper way, and some did, you know, still was hard headed. You know what I'm saying? Still had kids at a wedlock, but I do understand what you're saying. You know, that is the proper way. You know what I'm saying? To get married first, then have kids. You're absolutely right. But you know, a lot of us we was hard headed and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but I did understand that for sure at Sion. All right, what is that? Facebook, Tennessee Proctor. What up, Tennessee Proctor off of Facebook? Peter Baptiste. He says, I would like to have a debate with Pastor Gino on women covering. Oh man, listen, Peter with Baptiste or whatever the case may be, you got to email First Church on that one. What is it? First Church at truthofgod.com. You know, if you want to schedule a public debate with Gino, you know, it would be coincide with the biblical discussions and debates on here. You know what I mean? If it happens with you and Gino, you know what I'm saying? If you email them the proper way and stuff like that, I mean, don't do how the Hebrew Israelites did, the IUIC. Don't do it that way. Do it the more respectful way if you want to have a public biblical discussion on women covering and things like that. You know, at Peter Baptiste or for Facebook. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that's how if you want to request a public discussion. What is it? First Church at truthofgod.com. You know, for sure. Or they got a contact link on truthofgod.com right there. All right. So let's go back to YouTube. All right. Okay. What up, Mr. Vest? What up? Call me blessed. Newark, New Jersey is in the building. Brick City. He says, good evening. Grace and peace. God bless you too. Much love back unto you for sure. All right. Okay. Denise Betts off of YouTube, who says, why should people play games with a relationship when you know you are not going to be real or honest, or know you're not going to share trust? Why interrupt other people's life? Well, because some people get a kick out of it, like we talked about earlier. Some people are addicted to doing that. You know what I mean? They feed over stuff like that. You know, we touched on that a little bit earlier for sure. All right. Okay. What up, Rebecca? Rebecca Cohen, New York in the building. Shout out to New York. High rent out there. Shout out to New York. Hey, New York, with the whipped cream thing. Is that true? is that is that true out there in New York? You gotta be 21 years older, to buy whipped cream because the kids was using it. You know what I mean? To get high and whatnot with the cans and what have you. All right. Okay. What up, Mount Holly? Mount Holly, your name seems familiar. You says marriage ain't a piece of paper from white man. What? I don't understand that at Mount Holly. That don't sound too proper. I don't understand that. You said ain't a piece of paper from white man. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Let your light shine. What up? What up? Hope all is well. What is this right here? We got some spam going on YouTube. As y'all all know, there's always a spammer out there. There's always a heckler. St. Louis, you says, how can you watch Gino when he don't post on YouTube? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Let me know what you mean by that. I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I don't get that. What is that? Wilner Tima says, good night. How are you? I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that last part is, I don't know what that last part is. Well, Mr. Malhalia, you go into something else. I don't know what you're talking about. Call Me Blessed from YouTube says, it's best that once you come to the truth, accept it. Most often relationships that people have nowadays are committing fornication anyway, which we all know is forbidden. It's truly hard living in truth. Absolutely. Listen, St. Louis, you got to understand, they broadcast on Zoom too. They broadcast live on Zoom. The Tug TV. It's another one called Christian Media. They got radio stations and TV stations. YouTube is not the only platform to post on. You know what I'm saying? So when you not seeing the truth of God, that don't mean they're not posting. In general, they was on Zoom yesterday. They was on Zoom the other day. You understand? Only certain people got the links, or certain people knew about it and stuff like that. So in general, if they didn't post, what would that have mean in general if a person of truth don't post on social media in general? All right. Lady Speed Smith says playing with people's emotions is a red flag for mental instability. Absolutely. All right. There was a Zoom link, Mr. St. Louis. Zoom links. You would have to go to the truthofgod.com or in one of those Truth of God groups on Facebook to get the link. All right. Mr. Ham says, if both the man and woman love Jesus Christ, the death and resurrection, that's when you understand love God first above everything. Mr. Ham from YouTube said, okay. What is that? Denise Betts says vows should be from the heart, and the two should write their own vows. A lot of people do not respect the vows. People only say the vows because it's a tradition. Okay. Denise Betts off of YouTube. Okay, Peter Baptiste from Facebook. He says, I would like to debate Pastor Gino on where it's believed that the initial evidence of receiving the Holy Ghost is speaking in I guess you mean is in tongues. That's a lie, you know. Listen, you got to email the church, man. We just had a biblical discussion on that. I believe it was last week with Reginald Young and Damon Wallace. Correct me if I'm wrong. You know, I believe they spoke on that. You know, but if you want to come on a platform, biblical discussions and debates, feel free to email me, boxertonyharvin@gmail.com, man. Just inbox me. You know what I'm saying? Definitely inbox me. But if you want to schedule a debate discussion with Geno Jennings, First Church at truthofgod.com, you know, send a respectful email and things like that. And, you know, and I guess just be patient, you know what I'm saying, in general. But, you know, if you want to just debate, have a discussion in general, get at me for sure. All right. Rebecca, you says, I know what you're talking about. It's because of you talking about the whipped cream. You talking about the nitrogen oxide. Once inhaled, it can get you high. You know what I mean? So yes, the law is correct. Okay, cool. All right. So is at Rebecca. So is the what is that? The nitrogen oxide, is that similar to what's in beets for high blood pressure, or that's something different? You know what I mean? That what they're doing. All right. Mount Holly says you're in Colorado. The governor got a husband. Wow, I didn't know that. That's crazy. That's crazy. For sure. That's crazy right there. You know. Okay. What is that? Dollar Solo. You says what's dangerous is when somebody don't care about your emotions. Absolutely. You know. Call me blessed. You says Power Rangers just looked up Tony Harvin on YouTube. Appreciate that for sure. Jerry Murray says, may the Lord bless all to the chat. Peace and love. Absolutely. Bless you too, for sure. You know. All right. We about to hit that hour mark of this live conversation number 126. You know, we're about to hit that hour mark and conclude this live conversations in general, you know, in reference to talking about playing with people's emotions, being dangerous. This is live conversation number 126 on YouTube, but the 8th live on Facebook in general. I thank everybody for coming on this live. For sure, we will be having another biblical discussion and debate, you know, coming soon. I believe Wednesday. Hopefully, if anything comes beforehand, you know, it will be on here on YouTube and StreamYard. I don't put it up on Facebook, you know. Once in a while, we do the lives on Facebook like this, but we got more videos. I'm trying to come up maybe with another idea of doing a live on like biblical questions and things like that. Maybe some workout videos. You know, it's a lot of things I got in mind that I'm trying to like reroute the page and reroute the YouTube channel and things of that nature. So I thank everybody for coming on. You know, check me out on Facebook, Tony Fastens Harvin, Tony Fastens Harvin, YouTube, Tony Harvin Backup Channel, Tony Harvin Poems. So I got 3 YouTube channels. This is my primary YouTube channel. Secondary is Tony Harvin Backup Channel. And third in the cut channel is Tony Harvin Poems. I'm not sure if I'm going to make a 4th YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about it. You know, maybe. You know, so what else? My email, boxertonyharvin@gmail.com. I hope everybody have a good night. You know, I know a lot of you don't have work in the morning. But I do. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. You know, may you all have a blessed night. Prayers and blessings to everybody, you know, for tuning in. You know, Lord willing, we'll be back tomorrow with another live conversation, which will be live conversation number 127 on YouTube. And we'll probably be back on Facebook, possibly maybe next Friday or next Saturday or next Sunday or whatever the case may be. Next weekend I'll be in Jersey. Next week in Little Willing I'll be coming home for a couple of days to Jersey. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see how Jersey City is looking. You know what I mean? We're gonna see how it's looking out there. You know, but every time I go up there, man, it's just you see some of the same people in the same spot. But it is what it is. Much praise to them out there in Jersey City. You know, and you all have a blessed night. I'm out and peace.